Yo, yo, yo. It is your boy, your favorite psychic, your favorite medium on Tuesday, Marky Mark. Man, I'm just talking shit. You know me. I just finished watching the vice president debate. It's pretty cool. I like watching all that type of stuff because you can tell people who is lying and tell people who is really genuine. And everybody already knows what I think. And little piece of lint on my shirt. It's still there. Okay, got it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like watching debates and people get their ass handed to them. JD, he tore it up tonight. What a well spoken gentleman. I like the way he speaks. I like the way he talks. He's like, you can see like in his face that he's like, yeah, Tim, you keep denying shit, bro. Hey Ninja, how you doing? You all right? Did you watch the vice president debate? I'm great. All's good. I can't complain. No, not you. I enjoyed it, to be honest. I enjoyed that one better than the Trump and Harris. This debate tonight was really nice. It was really good. It was very well spoken. Everybody, was talking, doing their thing. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I'm not really a politics and government person, but like I tell many people in the world that what happens in America affects everybody. So I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed listening to that. I didn't think I'd ever say that, but yeah, I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, I know. I enjoyed the debate. I liked a lot of points from both sides, but there's a lot of things that I agree and don't agree with. But hey, that's what the whole world and life is. Life is about agreements and disagreements. Life is about opinions and things like that. So it's nice to hear some things and how people talk and how people react and all that bullshit. But yeah, it was cool. I actually enjoyed it, to be honest. I can't believe I'm actually saying that I enjoyed it. I thought it was gonna be boring as shit, but it was actually good. I like to hear like I like to hear people who actually like speak like properly and they say proper words and they say proper things, if you know what I mean. Anybody who says proper language and proper stuff, it's very nice. I enjoy it. But anyway, it's still freaking hot here. It was hot today. I was sweating. It was 82 today, and the humidity was 80. It's October 1st, and fucking weather's still hot, which usually is here. It's usually hot right up until like the end of this month. Then it goes away officially in November. So one more month of some hot weather, and then see that's what I'm saying. It's 100 where you are. That's fucking insane. In October, like already. That's crazy. And it's like 80 something here. I think it was 83 or 84 today. 82, 83, something like that. It was in the early 80s, but the humidity was 80 as well. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? You all right? Long time no see. Hope you all's good in your world. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I definitely don't want to be nowhere where it's 100 degrees. Hell no. Fuck that. It's bad enough the 80s and 80 humidity. It's freaking annoying. But I know it's only one more month of it anyway. By the end of this month, it's going to start getting cooler, I hope. And I hope that it gets a lot cooler. That sucks. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember you telling me about that. SR. It's almost over. Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay, Ninja. Well, that's good that it's almost over and you don't have to deal with it anymore. Yeah, I'm still the I was left in my auntie and uncle's will. She's been like passed away for over a year now, and we're still waiting for this month is actually the deadline for the people to hand in their paperwork. So there was only one person left, and he's an asshole, and he's like taking forever. So hopefully he put in all his paperwork. Hey Virgo, what's up, sweetie? So yeah, I'm waiting for my inheritance money and stuff like that. I had to go through all this bullshit paperwork and stuff, and there was 12 of us on the list. So two people debated it. One person never got paperwork, then they had finally got it and handed it in. And then now there's one person left that's being a dickhead, and he's like, taking his sweet time to and waiting for like the deadline to hand it in to be an idiot. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the difference. That's worse. When you don't have a will, it's worse because then the oldest person or the next of kin has to deal with it. And that's a burden. That person puts a burden on that person. Like that's stupid. That's why we told my parents to get a will because they didn't have a will either. Yeah, so we told my parents. My parents got a will like maybe 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And we told my parents, you better get a fucking will because we ain't dealing with all this shit. So they ended up getting one, thank God. So now we don't have to worry about like no fighting and all that bullshit. Even though some of my siblings don't deserve anything because they don't do anything. But it's just that way in every family. It's that way. Yeah, I'm sure it has. SR. I feel for you. Well, hopefully it gets all solved soon and you don't have to deal with it anymore and it doesn't become too much of more of a burden. But I've heard a lot of horror stories over wills and fighting and families and all that. I've heard it all because I've never been in a will where I'm getting something. This is the first time in my whole lifetime I've been left something, and I didn't even know I was left something through my auntie and uncle because they didn't have kids, so they put all their nieces and nephews on the will. So we're all getting like some money, which is great. I appreciate it, but it's taken forever, and it could have been done by now. But like the people that are taking the longest time are the people who don't even have that type of money that we're getting in their own accounts. That's the sad part of it. It's like it's so delusional when you think about it. You would think like the people who don't have it, they're gonna get the paperwork right away so they can get the money because they don't even have it. Like I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, like I don't care. When I get it, I get it. I got my own shit. Like, but like I'm worried about the people who don't even have it and they're waiting for these idiots to sign papers and just get it all over and done with. Like what's so hard about signing shit and just like, you're about to get a decent amount of money, like hurry the fuck up before you die and you can't enjoy it. Oh, great. Great. There's always something that's sorry. See what I mean? You're confirming my sibling nightmare stories. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So basically, yeah. Now you got to deal with more shit. It's not easy, SR. May God help you, and I hope everything works out. But that's the saying that's out there. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Family's always gonna be family and tied to you some type of way and give you some type of hell or some type of bullshit. It's always like that. It's always gonna be some bullshit. I know, right? Well, at least he could sit there for a while you sort things out. So that's good. Especially if he deserves to be there. He can stay there. Fuck him. That's all. But yeah, it's always something, man. And like my sister's going through her divorce and her divorce is final and now it's like the child support shit. And like he's like her ex-husband's still acting crazy and still lying like crazy. Like and oh well, that's his fault then. Self-infliction. So yeah, my ex brother-in-law, he's still running his mouth. He's still talking shit. He's still blaming me and my sister for the kids not speaking to him. But he doesn't take any accountability for the things that he's done. Like, you know what? He's one of those people who he knows he's done all the wrong and he's all in the wrong and all he's done was lie and he's the bad one. But you know how bad people always like provoke the good people to be bad, but it's not working. Like it's not working with me and my sister because we understand that we understand the main thing is he's provoking us or trying to provoke us to go after him. Man, we're just laughing because we got everything that we need and we got everything we want. And all your lies is just lies. And any person that's looking at those lies is me and my sister on that paper. And the lawyers. That's it. It's not like it's public for everybody to see because if he publicly said those things, people would say, you're a fucking liar because we saw you do this and we saw that and we know that and we know this. So, he pays the lawyer to lie for him. And she's probably like, yeah, I'm taking your money, you dumb fuck. I don't care. You can lie all you want. Yeah. How's his therapy? Actually, Lord knows if he's even good. I could care less about him. You know, he can rot in hell or die tomorrow. I could care less. You know, hey Lucky, how you doing? But like this is why I won't get married and won't be with nobody because I've seen my brother get a divorce and I've seen like my sister get it. And it's like, and I've seen all my best friends get divorces and shit. So like, I don't even want that. I don't even want to try. The kids are great. The kids actually fucked him off and got rid of him and blocked him finally because he's been lying to them as well. All he does is lie. He puts himself in more and more of a hole every day. So they finally blocked him on a chat that they had, and they blocked him, and they don't care about him. They basically told him in the last text that fuck you, you're a pussy, and we don't care about you, and we don't want nothing to do with you because all you do is fucking lie and talk shit, and that's it. So what he did this morning, he gets up and he was paying for their cell phone bills, right? And this year, twice they have gotten a text message saying that the bill wasn't paid, right? And he owed all this money, and they were going to close the phone so he would go and pay for it. And then this morning he went to the cell phone company and he shut their phones off without them even knowing. So the kids were like, what the fuck? My phone's not working. My data's off. Like, what the hell's going on? So thank God, we have internet and Wi-Fi. So they text us and be like, yeah, our phone's not working and we can't call and you can't accept calls. So my sister calls the cell phone company and they say, yeah, he just left here and he shut the phones off. So my sister went down there, right? She was working. She had to leave work, go to the cell phone company. Thank God it's only 5 minutes away. She went down there, got new SIM cards, and put the phones in her name. Yeah, he could have, but he didn't because he's a dickhead. But he did it. You see, this is what I tried to explain to the boys and to her, is he did that on purpose. Because the right thing to do is to tell them or to email my sister or tell the lawyer, say, hey, look, as of October 1st, I'm shutting your phones off because you don't want to speak to me and you fucking blocked me and you fucked me off. That's what he should have done as a real person. But he did it the way he did it to provoke me and my sister to go slap the shit out of him. Because things like that, behavior like that, will trigger somebody to fuck you up. And that's what he knows I will do. The old me would have immediately went looking for him and slapped the shit out of him and felt no way about it, and I wouldn't even care about the consequences. That's the old me. But the new me is like, you know what? Guess what, God? You already know what I'm about to tell you, God. Just deal with my light work. And that's it. I ain't gonna go slap him. I'm not gonna fuck him off. I'm not gonna do any of that shit. Because now there's nothing attached between them and the kids. Between him and the kids now. He fucked himself by lying. And by telling everybody that, oh, Mark and his sister, and my ex-wife, they corrupt the kids not to speak to me. Motherfucker, they didn't like you anyway. And if they did, they would be with you. But they're not. They're with us. And most kids make a choice to be either with their mom or their dad. I don't know what world he lives in, but if you lie to your kids all the time, and these are not kids, these are teenagers. They're 15 and 17. So they know life. They know. They're mature enough to know that their father's a fucking lying bastard. That's what he is. He's a narcissistic piece of shit. I can call him every name in the world because that's what he is. He actually is the devil in living flesh. That's what I've called him for years. I've told everybody. People would say, hey, Mark, how's your, you and your brother-in-law's cool? I'm like, oh, hell no. I said, I speak to him and that's it. But he is the actual devil in living flesh. That's what he does. He's the devil. And I'm glad he's gone. And I'm glad he's away from this house. And I'm glad he's never coming back here. And I'm glad now that he's out of his children. The children got rid of him. The boys got rid of him. Fuck him. And you know what? I told them today, you're not the only ones that have gone through this, and you're still not going to be the only ones that go through this. People go through this shit every day. She's good. She's right here. Look. Donna. SR says hi. I'm letting everybody see how luxurious your life is. Yeah, exactly. They know. Everybody know that people think he thinks that those boys are dumb. He actually thinks they're dumb, but they're not. Oh, they already are. They're already fine without him. They got me, SR. I'm the only real male adult that they trust and love, and I've always been like a father to them, always, because he never was. Even when he was here, their whole life, they don't even know that guy like that. He's never around. He made my sister and me do everything. We did everything. He didn't do nothing. That guy never took care of those kids. He never took them to school. He never picked them up from school. He he never did anything for those boys. Nothing. He never played with them. He never taught them how to do anything. It was all me and my sister. And that's why those guys hate him, because they realize who he really is. So fuck him. Oh, Caddy and you. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Of course you can come see me. Of course. Guys can come see me anytime. I would definitely be the tour guide and whatever else, I'll make sure you guys have the time of your life. Sounds like a-hole. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely how people are. I as a man, as a grown man with no children and never been married and never had, kids or anything, right? I think it's absolutely sad how you just give up a good wife, a good house, two good boys, your dog that I now have, and you gave up a good job to go to a shitty job, and you cheated on my sister with a dirty hoe that you're no longer with, you just associate with. So you just gave up all these good things for a shittier life. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm looking at this guy saying, I wish I had your life. And you just gave it away. Just like that. I don't understand. Caddy's daddy's not doing great. He doesn't have much. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I think the last time I spoke to her, she said that something about he was like kind of not doing too good. I think it was her that told me that, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll pray for him. I hope he's gonna be okay. But that's another thing that people take for granted is life. So, this asshole, he wants to go through life. And what if he dies in a couple weeks or a couple months or a couple years and he never gets to see his kids again? You think he cares? Obviously not. And this is what I don't understand about human beings and males and females who like just give up their families. Like, that shit don't make no sense. Mm. That's why I just don't get it. I love those boys so much. I love all my nephews, all six of them I love. But I love these two next door probably the most because I've, been with them for a long time. So I see them every day and I deal with them every day. So I'm always with them, especially the youngest one. We're always together. We went fishing yesterday and, he always like says that, he learns from me. He wants to learn. The older one, he's more like, cocky and arrogant. Sometimes him and I have fights and shit, but It's like people are fucking, it's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. Just like my auntie and uncle that passed away and left us this inheritance. Like how nice of them to leave it to their nieces and nephews because they didn't have children. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I appreciate what they did because they're in the same predicament as a lot of people. Some people just can't have kids or they just don't have kids. And then when the people that have kids make fun of, like make act like they don't exist. Like you're going to fucking hell if you don't care about your children. That's honest to God in heaven. That's what it says in the Bible. And I don't have to read the Bible to know that because that's a fact. You know? Like you're going to hell if you disrespect your children and shit. And you leave them to rot. You're fucking nuts. Hey Dan, how you doing, bro? Well, that's good. I'm glad she had a great dad. I met her mom, but never her dad. Man. Well, that's good. I'm glad, she was, she had a great dad, because a lot of women don't have great dads. They have shitty dads and stuff like that. But my dad, he's a good person. He's just a dickhead sometimes. And he's a he's a good my dad's a good father, and he never like disrespected or abandoned us. He did everything for us, but he was just a little bit too controlling. He was like, you got to do everything that I tell you, or else fuck you. Like, he didn't give us no leeway, and he was very strict. He still is. Like, he's 81, and he's still like a dickhead. So I just deal with him when I have to, but you know, I don't disrespect him. I don't say, hey, fuck you, and I don't say shit to him. Like I don't disrespect him. But there's some days I want to throw something at him. But we're actually closer now than we ever have been. So I do everything for my parents because they're getting old now. My mom's 79, my dad's 81. Like, I just sympathize with them and just deal with them as much as I can. Because it's not easy being them right now. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Esther, I'm glad. Because like a lot of people, that's like, I had my cousin's mom and dad. The dad I don't like, but the mom, like she's like a second mom to me, and she's got multiple sclerosis or whatever the heck it's called, and like she's deteriorating more and more every day, and she's 83, and she's like really bad where she can't even walk some days, but she tries her best to go to church and things like that, and she helps a lot. When she was younger and she used to take us to school, man, she was a fucking beast. That woman, she drove that car and she did so much for her children and her husband and for everybody. She was always a giver. And to see her like that, it's like, fuck, man. So I know, like my dad, he's all right today. He's actually feeling good today. But the last couple, like last week or this past week, he's not been doing too good. He gets gout really bad. He gets gout so bad that he can't even walk or he can't even get up. And some days he gets it in his feet, some days he gets it in his shoulder, and then lately he's been getting it in his hands. And he gets it in his hands where he can't even grab anything. And he can't drive and he can't move. And like if he moves the wrong way, he gets serious pain. He's lost a lot of weight too. Like I'm watching my dad deteriorate every day. But he can get better, but he chooses not to get better. He thinks that those pills that he takes are saving him. But my dad, he's a stubborn mule. He just doesn't listen. He doesn't care. He like we tell him, look, you need to get up and move. You need to walk. You need to, like get don't sit on the couch all fucking day. your body's gonna deteriorate. You gotta walk around the house. Like, go outside and walk around for a little bit. Yeah, make your body like, stop eating this, don't eat that, don't eat this, don't eat that. And he's like, fuck it, I don't care what you say. I'm doing whatever I want. And then when he has pain, look, pop the pills and check me later. I'm done. And then he's home like in pain all day because he's self-inflicted. When you have gout, you can't eat certain things, and he don't care. He says, it's only a little bit, and then that little bit destroys him. And I'm like, well, your dumbass drank that shit or ate that shit, and that's your fault. Oh, I didn't know it was gonna do that. Of course you know, you just don't give a shit. Sometimes, like, take it from me. When you have older parents like 80s, like I do, you'll see they're a pain in the ass and they don't listen and they don't care and they don't want to get better. That's why I'm going to make sure that if I reach that age, I'm going to make sure that I do whatever I can, like I am now, to not eat or drink any bad things and limit, certain things in my body so I can, like, be okay. But fuck, man, some people just don't get it. They don't care. That's good, Dan. I'm glad they didn't. So apparently you don't have to do that now, Dan. So you're gonna be okay. I hope not. I wouldn't want. I know my neighbor. He's lost both his legs. He's basically got two fake legs, and he like his upper part of his body, and he's lost like probably 100 pounds. And he's like 78. My neighbor, my mom's neighbor, not my neighbor here, but my mom's neighbor. I know them very well. The wife's perfectly fine. She's good, and God probably made her that great just so she could help him all day. I think he has diabetes very bad. That's why he lost both his legs. But he's still living. He's still good, man. I spoke to him probably like 3 weeks ago. He still knows who I am. He was still laughing and smiling. I said, fuck, I don't know how you do it, man. Dan, God's gonna protect you, bro. You'll be all right. Just keep praying, man. Just pray to your ancestors. Your past loved ones. Just tell them, hey, look, I need my foot, yo. You'll be all right. And just remember that if it does happen, you can defeat all odds. You can always, make that situation a positive situation if it does happen. So either way, just know that you'll be able to defeat or overcome anything that happens to you. That's all, man. That's how you gotta look at it. And that's why, like I tell people all the time, just keep your faith in God every day and just like plead with him and just say, hey, look, anything but that, fuck, something. Tell him you'll be a good tell him you'll be a good man for the rest of your life. You'll be fine, bro. Everybody's gonna be okay. Don't worry. We all go through bullshit. Whether it's mentally, physically, we all go through bullshit, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I know my neighbor, he has no legs. He's got two fake legs, and you wouldn't even know he had two fake legs. But I know he does. I actually went to school with a guy with a fake leg. He had one leg, and the other one was fake, and I saw him take it off and everything. It never grossed me out. I actually helped him many a times. Sometimes he would fuck me off because I like kind of helped him too much. But he's still living now, and he's got a kid. He's got a wife. He's doing good, man. I hope he's doing all right. May God bless him. I always, wanted the best for him. He was always a good friend of mine. And he was young, man. When that shit happened to him, he lost his leg young. But he was always in good spirits, man. I'll never forget him. I wonder if he's still, around. I gotta look for him. He was on Facebook, but I ain't seen him. He must have got rid of social media like most people. A lot of people get rid of social media because it's fucking annoying. Especially now. Now it's like always annoying. Too many fucking idiots. Too many know-it-alls. Let's see if he's still on Facebook. I don't see him. I used to have him on here. He must have deleted his account. Yeah, he's not here no more. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see him anymore. Hopefully he's okay though. I have to ask about him. I gotta ask my buddy about him. See if he's around. I just remembered him. Yeah. But you know what? Like I always say, Dan, it always could be worse. You could already not have it, and you could have like a lot worse than what you have. And some people were like, well, what's worse than this? I could give you a list if you want. How about you live in Israel right now and over in that area and wait for bombs to come by and in Ukraine and shit and wonder if your house is gonna blow the fuck up. I have a very good friend of mine that lived in Ukraine, and she and her boyfriend left Ukraine and went to Poland to live a better life because they were basically hearing bombs and helicopters, and this shit got bombed right around where they were. This a couple years ago, like when it all happened, and she left, and she's in Poland now, and she's living a good life, and she wants to go back to Ukraine, but it's not safe. So people like don't understand, like you could be living a worse fucking life than you think you can. I can give you a lot of worse scenarios. But it's good to be optimistic and positive, Dan, and be funny. It's cool. Like it gets you through your day. Good night, Ninja. It's good seeing you. I'm glad you popped by. Enjoy your retired life. Okay. But it always could be worse, man. It always could be worse. It always could be worse. I know a guy, he's dead now, but hopefully he's okay, in spirit. And I don't know him personally, but I know of him. He died about 3 weeks ago, and about 2 months ago, they said he only had 6 weeks to live, and he didn't make the 6 weeks, and he passed away and left a wife behind, and he was like maybe 60, close to 60, maybe 50 something. And I used to see him all the time driving a truck. And I know as soon as they explained who he was, I was like, oh, I know that guy. I seen him drive a truck. Nice guy. And, he got cancer really bad and he died, right? Just like that. And that's why I tell people, like, yeah, your expiry date's coming. So It doesn't matter how healthy you are or how sick you are or whether you're white, black, Portuguese, Asian, or where you live, you're gonna fucking die regardless. And that's the reality of life. You're born to die. And when you die, you die. That's it. You everything you see here, it goes. There's nothing there. So that's why there shouldn't be any jealousy, there shouldn't be any envy, and there should be no conspiracies or there should be no like discrepancies between people because you're gonna leave all that fancy shit behind that you're jealous of. You're gonna leave all this shit behind for somebody else to enjoy. So get over it and just live your life, be positive as you can, show gratitude, and just know that, hey, let me accomplish all the things I want to personally. Let me see if I can get to where I gotta go. And that's it. Simple. One thing I ask God many times is for Him to leave me on this earth for many more years to come so I can help people. And I can like do I actually wanna live a long time so I can help people. And I love my life. I like to live. I wanna live. But obviously I don't want to live sick and broke or, and envious and jealous of people. That's definitely not what I want. All I want to do is to be happy, healthy, and have enough to live and just help people and just be cool and watch everybody grow up and experience what life has got, what good things life has to give, and watch the change unfold. That's all I want. That's not much to ask. That's why God says, "All right, Mark, I got you, bro. I'll hook you up. You're a good boy." I truly believe that. I truly believe He has my back. I just wish everybody, understand that don't matter what the fuck you have, it's all gone when you die. You can come back as a spirit and enjoy it. You know, that's definitely the option. So even though you're leaving it here, you can still enjoy it in spirit. Some of us can. Some of us will, unless somebody buys your old house and kicks you out spiritually. I've seen that happen too. Sometimes you gotta accept it and find somewhere else. Yeah, so true. I think too many people take life for granted. I really do. I think a lot of people think that life is a joke and you think that nothing's gonna happen to you. You think that, oh yeah, fuck that, this and that, blah blah blah. People just I think people have the wrong um I think people have the wrong concept of and understanding of what life is. Some people say, hey, look, I want to have a family. I want to leave my house to my kids, and I want to make sure my next my kids are good, or my wife is good, or my husband's good. I want to make sure if I die today everything's okay. People got their funerals paid for, people got shit in their will. All that shit's good if that's what you want. And some people just don't give a fuck about shit at all. Mhm. All right, SR, it's good seeing you, sweetheart. Wish you all the best, and give my blessings to Caddy and tell her I'll pray for her dad, and hopefully he'll be okay. And hope you get everything sorted out. Mm. But yeah, that's it's just the way it is, you know. Life is life. Sometimes you just gotta deal with a lot of shit, and sometimes we don't. She was live last night, Dan. Did you miss her? She came on last night, but then she was only on for like maybe an hour, and then her internet froze, and then we were hearing her voice, and then I don't even think she was on for like an hour. I mean, half an hour. Yeah, yeah, half an hour. Yeah, yeah. She said she was coming back on tonight, but I guess her internet must be still fucked up, or maybe she was just busy. But yeah, she tried last night, but it didn't go well. Yeah, she froze up. Yeah, we could still hear her, but then she ended up leaving. But she's okay though. I spoke to her after. She was alright. I'm gonna have to run an extension cord over to her place. We're gonna have to do a get her a special internet. I always tell everybody I'm gonna get the Bermuda Triangle Wi-Fi over there. Yeah, to get to it, yeah. Hey, that's how you run the Wi-Fi. Some people steal that shit. Me and my nephews, when we used to get ice cream at night, we used to drive through the city on our way home, right? And there was always like this like Filipino guy, and he had like a chef's outfit on, right? And he was like picking up the Wi-Fi from the library, and we would come by. I'd be like, "Look at this guy stealing the Wi-Fi," right? We was just joking, right? I said, "I wonder what I should call this guy. Like, I'm gonna come up with a name." And the boys were like young. This is a couple years ago. And I was like, "I'm gonna call him Tantu," right? I just came up with some fucking bullshit name. So as I drove by, I would go, "Yo, Tantu," right? And he would be like, "Hey, hey, okay." And those guys would laugh so much. And we'd be like, "Yeah, see that? Like, we should come here and use the Wi-Fi off the library like him. And we can talk to him." So now he's not there anymore. And we always used to like drive by and be like, "Fuck, he must have went back home or something." So he was probably like an expat or something. Or he would always speak to us and he'd be like laughing and shit. Yeah, some aluminum foil. There you go on the antennas. But every time I think of like taking like Wi-Fi and like stealing Wi-Fi and shit and all that stuff, or just Wi-Fi in general, I always think about that guy. We used to always crack up. They're like, "What the hell is he doing there?" I'm like, "He's picking up on the Wi-Fi. That's why he's got the laptop there. He charged his battery. He went to go in the Wi-Fi, go talk to his wife." You were cracking up. I haven't seen him anywhere too. He must have left. He must have said, "Fuck Bermuda, I'm going." A lot of people can't handle Bermuda, man. Especially if you come from like a totally different place. A lot of people come here and they can't handle it, and some people can. If you can, you can make a good living for yourself. That's for sure. But it's all up to the person. That's why I'm so glad I never had to. That's another thing that people don't realize. Some people have to leave their country to better their life because where they were born and raised is shit. And see that's why there's so many, immigrants all over the world and so many different people all over the world, all over every country. Here in Bermuda, we have a lot of immigrants, tons. The government's let in a lot of people. They're just like Kamala Harris. Let in the immigrants, take our shit. But you know what? A lot of people they do it to themselves because when you have a business and you can't find locals, you get permits for people from other countries, and they end up coming in and doing the job because where they are is trash. And that's how I'm here. You know, my parents were born in Portugal. and my dad, my grandma and grandpa was already here, and um, they came from Portugal too. But my grandfather, he came to work for the government in the city, so the government bring him here, and because back then, like 100 years ago, I'm going back 100 years. Like Bermuda was getting bigger and bigger and more work and things like that. So they called in a lot of immigrants, and that's why there's a lot of Portuguese people here because they got Portuguese people to come here from Portugal to work, and we end up getting our papers and our stuff. And then when I went 18, it was mandatory. The government mandatory that if when I go 18 that I get my Bermuda status, that I'm officially a Bermudian, and I had to go to the army to like it was mandatory to go to the army when you were 18. So I ended up getting both papers, my status and going to the army. So that's how Bermuda was 30 years ago when I went to the army. And now it's not mandatory. Well, not now. It's not been mandatory for 20 years because everybody got pissed. Everybody's like, fuck this shit. I ain't need no mandatory for me. Even if you dodge the army to go college, right? Because I didn't go college. I was a high school dropout. So I had to go because they're like, yeah, you ain't going. And people used to want to go college so they didn't have to go to the army. But when you did like 3 or 4 years in college, you still had to go to the army. Like you couldn't escape it. The only way you can escape the army is if you had a referral, like from a doctor saying that that you were like it was not something wrong with you. Because my brother, he didn't go to the army because he had asthma really bad. So the doctor said, you're deferred from the army. You don't have to go. And I begged my doctor. I was like, look, tell them that I got asthma like my brother. He's like, no, army's gonna be good for you, Mark. You'll be fine. I'm like, you fucking bastard. Lie to these motherfuckers. Tell them that something's wrong with me. Tell them I have a rare condition. I don't want to come to this fucking place. But I mean, I hated the army, but I made a lot of good friends there that I still have today. Those 3 years were probably the longest 3 years of my life. Fuck, it was annoying. Oh my God. My first year was the worst. Second year was okay. And the third year was probably my best year. When I had a lot of leeway and I didn't have to do much. So that's how it was. That's why I tell people, like, when I was younger, it was a lot rougher than it is now. These kids, they need to bring back that army shit so that way they can. But see, there's too much sensitive and human rights things going on now. See, everybody just. That's why the world's all fucked up because there's no control. There's no control at all. Back then there was more control. Yeah, oh yeah, Dan. They definitely did that with us. When all of us got checked by the doctor, all of us were in our boxes or our underwear or our ball chokers. We were all like pretty much naked with just with our underwear. Like all of us were standing there cold as shit, and we were like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why do we have to take all our clothes off?" And like, yeah, the guys had to examine you. The doctor had to examine you, make sure you're okay and everything. It was like a open physical, so everybody got to see everybody what they look like except for their private parts because we got to wear our underwear. But the worst thing about the army was having somebody the same age tell you what to do and you can't do nothing about it. And if you do, you get locked up. That was the worst thing for me that I experienced, that I hated that shit. And the other thing was when you go take a shower, you're like, this got like maybe 10 showers there. and like everybody's waiting for somebody to leave. And then by the time, if you're like the out of like 200 soldiers that were waiting to get a shower in the morning or at night, I always got my shower at night because that's when nobody really took a shower. They took a shower first thing in the morning or whatever, right? Um, but I caught on to it because I said, yeah, if I take a shower in the morning, there's not going to be no hot water. You're going to get a cold ass shower, and it's January. It's cold as fuck. And they used to do that shit on purpose. So what I would do is I would say, yeah, once I have once I'm in my barrack room and everybody's there, I'm gonna go take a shower and then boom, I'm good to go. Once everything's done for the night, I'm gonna go get my shower, a nice hot shower, and nobody's gonna be there. But everybody started to catch on to it. So when I went, there was a couple other people there, but I didn't have to wait too long. But it was gross getting like that was one thing I didn't like at all. Those 2 week camps, we had 2 week camps where we had to be there all the whole 2 weeks, and we couldn't go nowhere. We were like pretty much imprisoned for 2 weeks. Then we had weekend camps where it was we'd go in on Friday night and we'd get out Sunday morning. And like, it was taken away from us working and shit. Cause some of us work like me. I had a full-time job. So people started complaining that it was ruining our lives, because we had to work. Some of us had businesses. Some of us like were working, as managers and things like that. And we got bills to pay, but the army paid you, but you got paid like once a month, and and it was like we used to make, I'd say between, it all depends on what your rank was. So I was just a regular soldier. I was a private soldier, right? Then you had corporal, and then so if you were a private like me, you're gonna make like $800 a month. That's just a month, not a week, a month. So it's good money. It paid for paid for the bills with our regular money too. So it was good money back then. And but the thing was, if you missed days and shit, you weren't getting that money. It was based on your time and what you did. But if you had a higher rank, you were taking home like $1,000 plus a month. And so yeah, my first year was bad because I was out in the field and doing dumb shit, with guns and all that bullshit. I don't like all that type of shit in the field. Like nowhere, no bathroom, no nothing. You're in the trees doing fucking exercises and bullshit. And then my second year, because I was a car mechanic at the time, they needed like mechanics that were qualified, well, like not qualified, but actually had a job in mechanics and knew what they were doing and had a driver's license and a truck license. So when I was 18, I had a stick shift license. I had a light van and a truck license, right? So because I had those licenses, and then because I was, a mechanic, and I got a letter from my boss stating that I was right, his apprentice, then they put me in the mechanic section, which is one of the easiest things in the army, is the boat and the car, the transport department. So I was at MT, military transport department, right? So I was at MT, so military transport. So because I had a license and a lot of other people didn't have a license, right? And with trucks and vans and things, I used to drive like the trucks at the army. Like I used to take when we had a parade, I would tow like the cannons and shit and the guns and all that bullshit. And then I used to like transfer to another vehicle, and like I used to like have to write like transfer sign a paper saying I left my vehicle and I'm going to another vehicle. It was like a load of bullshit that I went through. So I had to so then I went in like a Land Range Rover like type thing, and it could take like 12 people. So I would go. Oh, they were like, "Oh, a private mark. Yeah, you got to go pick up these guys at such and such a base." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, go pick up these 12 soldiers. If you could fit more in there, go ahead." Please take your time. They're civilians, blah, 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 blah. So I'd be like, all right, yes, sir. Go pick up these idiots, go take them to another location. And like a lot of guys would be like, yo, Mark, yo. Because everybody knew me, right? Because I was a DJ back then too. So everybody knew who I was. They were like, fuck, man, take us to the store, man. All we're drinking is bullshit water. All we got is rations. Pull over, man, this place. We guys going to the store. I'm like, look, man, don't tell nobody I fucking took you here. I'll get in trouble. So we never got caught, thank God. So those guys had like backpacks and shit. So I pull over to the gas station. Those guys would go buy a whole heap of shit. They were in the back shoving that shit down their mouth, putting shit in their backpacks, getting toilet paper to wipe their ass because they was out there in the trees and shit. I was like, yeah, I know all about that. I did that last year. They're like, yeah, man, fuck, this is bullshit, Mark, man. Set me up, man. Take me to the store and all this shit. So I used to like help guys out, feel bad for them. And then my third year was even better because I was teaching the newcomers. And then because I was there in my third year and they trusted me with the vehicles and everything, I used to drive the colonel to the parade. So I would wash the Nissan Sentra. That was like the best car that they had for the colonel. And I used to wash the car before the parade, like put some armor on the wheels, vacuum the car so his fucking idiot ass can sit in the back all posh. And I wasn't allowed to talk to him at all. Just say yes sir, no sir. If he talked to me, then I would like talk to him or whatever. So I dealt in the 3 years I was there. I dealt with two colonels because one guy was on his way out and one guy was a new guy. So the old guy, he was an asshole. He never spoke to me. He like thought I was his fucking servant and peasant. But the new guy, he was cool. I haven't seen him forever, but he was like, "How you doing, soldier?" I'm like, "I'm good, sir." He's like, "Keep your eyes on the road and just talk." I was like, "Yes, sir." So he was like, "How you liking it?" I was like, "Well, I think it's hell, to be honest." And he started cracking up, right? I was honest with him. I didn't give a fuck, like. He was like, "Oh, so you're in your last year?" I said, "Yeah, I got a couple months left, sir. I'm here till November." This is like June, because June's like the parades and shit, right? So he was like, "Don't worry, soldier, you'll be out soon. It's not that bad." I said, "Nah, it's not that bad because I'm in the military transport." So I said, "I'm good. Like the last 2 years have been okay. It's not been, strenuous or bad. And I don't have to like run around or deal with guns and bullshit that I don't want to deal with." So he was like, "Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore because we're almost there. Um, pay attention to the road, make sure you're good, whatever." But I was like, "Yes, sir." So then when I pulled up see, I never got out of the car. I wasn't allowed to get out of that car. And once I got in, that's it. You can't get out. I would pull up to the parade, like he'll say, "Okay, go up there." And like they'll be communicating with him and whatever. And then I'll pull up at the parade. The soldiers will come, like the regiment police, they will come and like open the door for him and he'll get out, close the door, and they'll say, "Go ahead." And I would go and sit off I used to smoke cigarettes back then. So I used to smoke like and wait for the parade to finish. And then they'll call me and be like, come get Colonel, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Yes, sir." Go back, pick him up, take him back to the headquarters. And when I got there, that's when I got out. I had to get out and open the door for him and, give me a salute. "Yes, sir." He goes, "Okay, it's a pleasure. Thanks for driving. Thanks for thanks for getting me and bringing me back safe," he would tell me. I was like, "Yes, sir. No problem, sir." So yeah, that's what I had. That's what I did in my third year. So you pretty much have to prove like your driving record. So the person who has the best driving record takes the colonel. So that's me. And I was 21 when I left. I never forget. It was November 20 something, I think it was. It was my last day at the army. They was like, "Oh yeah, all you third year guys, today is your last day. Hand in your kits. Blah blah blah." So I was in my play clothes, regular clothes, handed in my shit. I was like, yeah, take that trash. I don't want none of that fucking garbage. I left everything. I was like, fuck this place. And then they gave me the paperwork saying that I was done. I got on my motorcycle and I sped all the way home singing. Next thing you know, it's about maybe, I would say I was about maybe 3 minutes away from home. And it's like a long stretch. And like I was on my motorcycle and it was like probably almost midnight because we guys sat at the bar and had a drink and shit. So I got caught speeding. Next thing you know, the police come after me. I'm like, fuck. And I didn't have my army clothes because if I did, I would have probably got off, right? So like, where you in a hurry to go to? I said, look, I just got out of army for the last day. He goes, oh, you got caught for 72. You're going too fucking fast. And he showed me like the radar thing, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm just happy. Like, you just fucked my whole vibe up. He goes, well, you don't have to speed. We have to give you a ticket. And I'm like, fuck, man. So I got a ticket. I paid like a $285 fine. And that was like my last memory of like the army, feeling free and then getting caught speeding like a dickhead because I was so happy to get the fuck out of there. So yeah, I've got a lot of stories about the army and what I went through and bullshit. So. But I didn't care. I paid the fine and for speeding, and that's like the last time I really got caught speeding was way back then. But I met a lot of good people while I was there. It was fun. It was fun. My last year was really good because I had like a lot of the guys that were in my section, like I knew them. And I used to drive there a lot too, right? And I used to take like my neighborhood like buddies, like the guys that were in my neighborhood. There was like 4 guys in my neighborhood, and they used to say, "Hey, Mark, can we go with you in your car? Or can we, if you take the army truck home?" Because they used to let me take the army truck home sometimes, right? Like I had that I had that responsibility. Like I could take the vehicle home if I want to. So I look like like a badass in the army. Have my vehicle. Everybody was like, "Yes, sir." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, fuck you, I know, sir." So, and then one time I got into an accident in the army truck. Um, this guy on a bike struck my Land Rover, whatever the fuck it's called. I was turning in, and this guy fucking hit me dead on, bang, fucking hit the side of the truck. He was speeding, and he hit the side of the truck, and he got all fucked up. He lived, obviously. Then I had to witnesses were there. Some people say it was my fault. Some people said it was his fault because I was in the army's truck. They were like, "Yeah, fuck the army, fuck that guy," And so I ended up getting off of that too. I didn't get my license didn't get taken away, or I didn't get any. I didn't even get in trouble because everybody it was like a he said she said type of thing. But I didn't even get in trouble. It was just a bullshit accident because everybody knows it was that guy's fault. It wasn't my fault. Fucking guy was speeding. He was acting. He hit my damn. He hit the truck. So some people try to blame me because I was the army guy. So I went through a few things dealing with army shit, and sometimes I dream about it too. Sometimes I dream about the army a lot. Not a lot, but not lately. But I used to always dream like I was trying to get out of there because I hated it so much that I always dreamt about it. Like I always dreamt like I was in my army uniform, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to get out of here so bad." And I was like always trying to get like out of there. I was between school and army. Those are like the worst times of like my life as far as like being held back and not being free to do what I want. I don't take like captivity too good. I don't like being like stuck somewhere. I don't want to do something that I don't want to do. That's why I dropped out of school. And that's why when I left Army, it was like the best day of my life. Because I knew that I'm 21 and I'm about to leave Army and I don't have to do anything else mandatory ever again. And I don't have to do anything anybody fucking says anymore. So I was like, the joys of being young and then turning 21 and being free. Like, fuck you. I'm out of here. And from 21 onwards till today, like I feel free to do whatever I want, come and go as I want. I don't have to do nothing mandatory, like, except for like pay bills and shit, which is easier than going to those physical things. So yeah, the joys of life. But I survived it, so I'm good. I'm here. It wasn't extremely bad, but it wasn't good either. But I still encourage people to go to school and graduate. It's up to you. I don't encourage anybody not to do it. You want to go to school, you want to graduate, hey, go for it. Me, I always thought it was a waste of time. That's why I left. And God made sure that I came out all right. And I did. So, cheers. Thank you, God. Anyway, it's 1:00 in the morning. I'm going to get my ass out of here. If not, I'm going to keep rambling on and on about my life. Oh, Virgo, you're still here. Holy shit. You're not sleeping? You're not fun slap? Oh, man. You want me to give you a message before I go? Dan, you're still here too. Good. I thought you guys was gone. I was probably talking to myself or somebody just came in and be like, fuck this guy talking about. All right, I'll give you a love oracle. How about that? I don't know why I just picked these cards. Yeah. Oh shit, her titties is out. My bad. All right, let me see what we get. I call these the heart cards. All right, let me see. All right. Virgo, this is your card. And it says transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. So you and somebody, things are about to get a little deeper. Just remember that this will transform all things around you. So matters of the heart. Dan, you want a message? Or if anybody wants a message, This person's been more open. Well, there you go. So that means it's gonna get better. You have my consent. You have my consent to date. All right, Dan, let's see what we got for you. All right. Dan, this is you and the missus. And your card says trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it'll automatically transform. How cool is that? So you got to trust the process, bro, and everything's going to be all right. Once you accept the current situation, it'll automatically transform. So trust that everything is going to be okay. There you go. Yep, listen to the Aquarius. You listen to me, I'm an Aquarius, and you listen to your wife, she's an Aquarius, you'd be good. Your life would be great. Because you Leos need us Aquariuses to think for you. Let us do the thinking, and you do everything else. Okay? Let me see what I get. All right, mine's very simple. This is my card, and I got a very simple message. Time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. Yep, I'm trying very hard to get shit done. Time is of the essence, damn it. I gotta get shit done. Hey, Jocelyn, how you doing? I was just about to get out of here. But being that you're here, I'll stay for another couple minutes. I'll give you one of these lovers oracles if you want. All right. Oh, cool. You finally got there? That's cool. Hope mom's okay. That's nice. I'm glad you, I know you said last time you was trying to get there by your sister or something like that, but I'm glad you got to see her. That's cool. All right, Jocelyn, this is your card. It's a naked woman. If you want to be naked, you can. It's up to you. And your card is freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. Freedom. There is nothing stopping you. The path is clear if you want it to be. And, I have to cover up her little, her nipple there. I don't want nobody to get sex excited. Of course, you would get that card. It's sadly nearing time to say goodbye. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, as long as she's lived a good life and she's ready to go into the spirit realm, her expiry date is coming. And just know, take it from me, that when she does pass away, she'll always be with you in spirit, and she'll always remember that you came to visit her, and she'll always know, that you're her daughter, and she'll take care of you in spirit. She'll make sure you'll be all right. Trust and believe that, because it does exist and it does happen. If she has you in high regard, then she'll always be with you in spirit. I will guarantee you that. But that's only if you're a good girl. If you've been good to her and you guys are good and she knows you were there visiting her, she's going to remember that in spirit, believe me. I tell everybody, look forward to those days because you never really lose somebody spiritually, but well, you can, but I wouldn't say never. But if you do dumb shit, obviously spirit's not going to really cater to you. But in your case, I do believe that your mom would take care of you when she's in spirit, just like how you're visiting and taking care of her in real life. So now you can look forward to the rest of your life having her in a spiritual form when her time is up. So it's always another way, another way to deal with things. So even though death is shitty, but it also can be beneficial knowing and believing that in spirit they will always help you. That's why I'm here right now, because without the help of spirit and my past loved ones and friends, I wouldn't be able to give you guys any messages. I'd be nobody. I have them to thank for my abilities. I can't do it on my own. I need them. And I also need your spirit family to come together to make sure we give you the right information, to give you the heads up. All right, Virgo. Good night, sweetheart. Good night, Dan. Good night, Justin. I know you just got here, but I'm gonna go. It's already past 1 o'clock in the morning here. I need to get my ass to sleep. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be here. Hopefully. I'm gonna try and get busy tomorrow. I need to go get some stuff so I can build my workbench. I'll take some pictures of the workshop tomorrow. Show you guys. All right, good night. Take care. Hope you guys have a good day and night.